This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on nation cheers for the Indian contingent for Tokyo Olympics. The participants are Rakesh Rao and Harpal Singh Bedi, sports journalist.
With just Olympics staring at us, and every 4 years it's the same exercise. Indian contingent leaving for the games with a lot of hopes and expectations, with the whole country getting together and trying to support the Olympic sports for a change. Because as we all understand this fact that we are a cricket crazy nation, and every time we have an Asian Games, Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, suddenly the mood seems to change a bit. And this time, Olympics, which has been delayed by a year, now it is just around the corner. And India will be represented by a contingent of about 124, the breakup being 69 men and 55 ladies. And we are going to take part in a number of events. But as everybody, a common man on the street, he doesn't go too much into records or anything. He just wants how many medals is India going to win. With me on the show is a veteran of Olympics, Mr. Harpal Singh Bedi. Now, Mr. Bedi has seen a good number of Olympic Games and his experience is vast. So I would welcome Mr. Harpal Singh Bedi to join me on this discussion.
I have covered 8 Olympics since Seoul till Rio. All the Olympics I have covered. I was supposed to go for this Olympics also, but because of this COVID situation, I've dropped out the idea. I think this time, for last few Olympics, we go with such lot of hope. And we come to think of Olympics when Olympics on the verge, and then we start questioning the athletes, what they have done and what they have not done. And the next 4 years, we forget them, what they do or what they don't do. But this time, why we are talking about the medals and why we are hopeful is on the basis of the performance. Now, Rakesh, interestingly, every time when we go, I'm talking since after Atlanta, when Leandro Paes won the first bronze medal, but individual medal after a long, long time. So that benchmark started and we started winning medal, 1 or 2 medals or 3 medals. Then London was its peak. Then we won 6 medals. And then Rio, we struggled to win till Sakshi and Hindu came and saved us. But this time we start with the hope that we will be winning. Now, what are the hopes? You have been covering these games also, and I have been, and domestically you have been covering. I think we have to start with the main hope, I think, is shooting. Second is wrestling. This is my assessment. I may be wrong, but you have to improve upon what I'm saying. Shooting, then I say is wrestling. Then third is boxing. Hockey is always our hope. Men hockey. At the moment, we are 4th ranked in the world. We are hopeful this time also. These 4, having said that, then archery, Deepika Kumari. Now, interestingly, Deepika Kumari has always done very well before Olympics. Whenever there has been, before the Rio, Deepika has done very well. Will she translate that form in Tokyo? Remains to be seen. Then comes athletics, where we have Neeraj. I think expectations are there on Neeraj. And we win. That was a great achievement. The first athletic medal in Olympics. Rest, we are going to take part in sailing, rowing, tennis, table tennis, equestrian after 20 years, Fawad Mirza, fencing for the first time, gymnastics, one girl. They may be as a participant.
I would like to agree with you on a lot of these counts, but I'm just keeping hockey aside for the simple reason it inspires so much confidence in me as of today, because hockey is something that is, I think all of us have grown up with the game. I mean, right from the 70s when I started keeping track of Indian hockey. Thereafter, the World Cup in 75 and the Olympic gold, the last of the 8 gold medals in 1980. Thereafter, there's been a lull. So hockey for me has given too much of hype. It has been hyped up for no reason. Maybe because we are very nostalgic about that sport. And you spoke about India being number 4 in the world. I mean, again, these rankings can be very, very deceptive for the simple reason you go and play in an international meet which need not have the best of opposition. Although the countries will be very, but the team that comes there, it need not be the best sent by that country. And based on rankings, this has been the case before every Olympics, before every World Cup. We send our team with a lot of hopes. But for the benefit of our listeners and all, let me just remind them, in 41 years since we won the last Olympic gold in 1980, Indian hockey team, I'm talking about the men's team, has not even reached the semi-finals of World Cup or the Olympic Games. Yes, we go with a lot of hopes. I'll be one of the happiest people if we come back with something.
The hockey has been a lifeline for Indian sport journalists in Olympics. Remember this thing.
I agree. Despite the nostalgia, I have no problems with India winning something there. What I'm trying to say is, having seen it for 41 years now, where it is the same old story, whether it was 84, 88, 92, 96, 2000, and I can go on. It's been the same story. So for me, I'm going to hold my horses. But if you talk about other events, definitely yes. Archery, we have a chance. Why not? Athletics, Neeraj. Badminton, again, Sindhu. Boxing, yes, we can hope again for at least one or two.
What you have explained is right. See, first of all, let's about hockey. I agree with you. There is no dispute what you have said. It's very clear. And when I started with this saying that 4 or 5 events we are taking part at least in 15 events. But we have only 5 events where we have a hope. That is just for the sake of rowing, sailing, fencing, equestrian.
Out of these 18 events, we cannot look beyond 5 or 6 events where we have a
realistic
chance of winning something.
Realistic also again you have to use this even among the 5. As you rightly said, athletics only needed. We are sticking to need it. Again, you are shortening this pair of gold medals. But still, I think that India has a good chance. This is my reading. Good chance of, if not improving, at least coming to at par with the London Olympics, where we did very well, at least 6 medals. That was best as far as medal tally is concerned. If we repeat that 6 medals, and if we get one bonus, if we do not get, but 6 has to be there because given the preparation. Rakesh, one thing is there. All these people, under 24, as you said, 16 disciplines, none of them can complain that government has not helped them. This is one thing. For last 2 or 3 Olympics, the government has spent so much money on these people that when they come back, they have no explanation why they failed. Now, all these people who are performing so well, when they are getting qualifying every year, at least they should perform or hit that mark which they have done it here. Well, like what happened in Rio, why was a great disappointment that such a huge athletic contingent went and 1 or 2 people qualified in the next round. They made all the people who had such a record here, they could not even come equal to them. They could not qualify. They could not the same timing as there in Rio. So I think athletes who have qualified, that will be more satisfying rather than having gone and just participated.
My opinion is that in a lot of events, we no longer go to just participate. We compete for the simple reason, as you rightly said, that the kind of government support that these athletes have received in the past few years, which is phenomenal. I mean, imagine just even at the moment you qualify for the Olympics or you make the qualifying grade, still not confirmed, but you book a quota. From that point in time, you are allotted 50,000 rupees out of pocket expenses every month. This is irrespective of how it is being spent, because for your equipment, there is a separate quota. For your travel and training and competition, that's a separate allocation. But you're paid 50,000 rupees a month. So what I'm trying to say here is, as you very rightly said, there is absolutely no room for any complaint from any of the athletes that they didn't get what they wanted. Here, they are getting, the moment you qualify, you are right up there. Now, my point here is that when government of India, and especially when we talk of the kind of leadership which we have right now, I don't remember in the last so many years when the Prime Minister of the country, and he talks about Indian sports, he talks about sports people, he goes and meets them. If you remember last time in 2016, the same thing happened. Before the team left, there was our Prime Minister, spending time with the contingent, with the athletes, talking to them. And I think it was just about during the Sunday show, Man Ki Baat. I mean, I was very impressed because for the first few, at least I think it was almost half the show, that he spoke about Indian athletes going for the Olympic Games. And it was not just that. He knew the names of the athletes and what they had done. And he had actually highlighted the kind of hardships that some of these athletes went through to reach wherever they have reached now. So, which is phenomenal. And the other day I was talking to some of the athletes who will be there in Tokyo. And they were so thrilled, and this was coming from the heart. They said it feels amazing, when Mr. Narendra Modi takes off and when he says, like, when he takes the names of these athletes, he seems to know them by name. There's that personal kind of a touch which the PM, he just lends that. And how much of that helps them to perform, that's a different subject.
Rakesh, another interesting thing. Apart from Man Ki Baat, the Prime Minister has mentioned sports on the ramparts of Red Fort several times. Man Ki Baat, when can he say, you have a limited audience, somebody wants to listen or not. On the ramparts of Red Fort, Prime Minister has talked about the sport person. So I think there is no quarter of excuse left for the sports person. They have to perform. What my critique of these sports person is, having given them everything, like 50,000 rupees, besides your job is taken care of, you are on leave, perpetually on leave, but still you are getting paid. Even the tennis players are being paid. Even Sania Mirza gets the money. Even Leander players used to get the money. And PV Sindhu, He gets the money. All these people are getting the money. That's the point that they are multimillionaires. Having said that, I think the Prime Minister has given them a task. Now, if the government, the Prime Minister and the Sports Authority of India has given so much, and it is not because we are talking on All India Radio, so we are praising this. So many athletes, so many shooters told me that no third world country says this is the shooter. Shooting is a very luxurious game. So money spent on shooting is phenomenal. Prime Minister is going to talk to them again tomorrow. Even from his busy schedule, he wants to assure the players, the athletes, the country is behind you. Now it is up to you to perform. You have been selected. You have done something so good.
See, I completely agree with you. See, what happens is, when we talk about performance, it is like we want to see medals. That is how the majority of this 1.3 billion people, they expect people to win without knowing that where we actually stand. That is where the trouble is. Time and again, when I see that when a lot of politicians, a lot of people in authority, when they question, when the team returns, and then they suddenly, they ask questions about the Indian sportsmen, especially the Olympics and what they did there and just 2 medals and 6 medals. I would like to underline one particular statement here, that unless you back Olympic sports all through the year, don't expect results once every 4 years. You have to back these sportsmen, not just because it's Olympics. That is where I give credit to the PM when he talks about sports, when he talks about Khelo India, when he says, okay, let's have this Khelo India in 7 verticals. Let us just see how much we are able to do. Now, obviously, this particular movement is not going to give you results instantly, but at least the seeds have been sown. And if we can just broad base this and, take the Olympic sports further, maybe in another 4 years, another 8 years, we'll start seeing some results there. But I think the beginning has been made. And for me, the biggest takeaway is that the kind of involvement that the government has now, you have the SAI, you have the top scheme there, and also, of course, the ministry taking interest, and above all, the Prime Minister himself stepping in. So for me, a lot of excitement in store as of now. And I would like to also see and hear from a lot of sportsmen what they have to say when they get to interact with the PM themselves.
One thing, Rakesh, is that PM has set the bar very high.
Yeah.
He has set the bar very high, and he has every right to set the bar very high. And PM or the government or a Sports Authority of India is responsible to tell the people where money is going. Now, our players, all of these who have been selected or who have qualified, they have traveled more than majority of Indians, traveled abroad. Going abroad is no big thing now for them. They have been traveling abroad, I think, at least 6 months in a year. So this excuse is not there that we have no exposure. This every time money cannot buy you everything, but you have to do your own best. The problem here is everybody is not going to win the medal. Obviously, you should perform better than what you have done in India, when you qualify. So improve on that. No other country, given the situation, I'm not talking European countries, I'm talking third world countries, has trained or given so much to the players or the sports person like India has done. So when Mr. Modi talks to them, he will be giving them a target. Look here, improve your performance, do country proud.
Absolutely. And he has always said that, you can only control the controllables. So you can do what you can do. Of course, you can't prevent others from doing what they are doing. But yes, as you very rightly said, give your best. That is what is well within you. Where in a lot of events, which we can definitely see that Indians have improved over a period of time, thanks to the support, thanks to the kind of support structure we have these days. But I think what is going to happen tomorrow is that every Indian sportsman who's going to Tokyo, when he hears from the PM, that will be a shot in the arm. He's going to get motivated. And also, you very rightly said that a man who doesn't take anything that is substandard from his own colleagues, how will he accept a substandard performance in Tokyo? So on that note, let's hope that Indian contingent stays focused, stays motivated. Before they leave, they are going to hear from the PM, and how it gets translated, we'll have to wait and watch. Thanks for being Mr. Harpal Singh Bedi.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Nation Cheers for Indian contingent for the Tokyo Olympics. The participants were Rakesh Rao and Harpal Singh Bedi, sports journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. And this program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.